Hi, I'm Montes of Colthrone, and I wanted to talk about this date that's coming next week, 23rd of September of 2015. I want to talk about this because there's a lot of speculation about what this is all about. There's a lot of theories, speculations, beliefs about what's going to happen. And I want to join in on this whole speculation about what's going to happen on the 23rd of September. And what's going to happen, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to give another theory. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen for real. And what's going to happen is that on the 23rd of September, it will be Yom Kippur. Now, many of you will be asking, what is Yom Kippur? And that's where the problem lies. Because it is very unknown in the Christian community what this is. Yom Kippur is a festival, a biblical festival of God. It is not a Jewish festival. It's biblical of God for His people, where He is calling for His people to celebrate this day as with all the other festivals, because this has a plan, this has a design, it has a purpose, especially of information. God wants to inform us of events, of His calendar, of His schedule, events from His agenda, of what He has planned for this world. And that's why He is giving us this series of festivals. And these festivals are included in what we call the law of Moses, the law of the Old Testament, because as you know, Christianity has taken these laws and they just have annulled them. They just threw them out the window. And with this, we have lost all the things that the law has to offer. And this includes many, many blessings, but especially it includes protection. So I wanted to do this video because I wanted to advise you that all those events, all those things that are happening around the world, political, social, cultural, religious, and etc., all those events come to nothing if you are not focused firstly on God, firstly on His schedule, on His plan, and His purpose. What do I want to say with this? That really the focus that we should have as Christians should be in three areas: in place, moments, and instructions. And that's it. Not in what the Pope is going to do, or the United Nations, or the Israeli government, or the CERN scientist. When the disciples asked Jesus when His second coming would be, Jesus gave a series of descriptions of events, that things that were going to happen. One of those descriptions was that in the end days, it was going to be just like the days of Noah. So imagine that you are in the days of Noah. There's this great catastrophe that's going to happen universally, and to be saved from this catastrophe meant that you needed to know the right place, the right moment, and the right instructions as to what to do. In this case, the right place was an ark, the right moment was the day the rain started, and the instructions was the provisions you needed to have. Also in Egypt, on the night of the 10th plague, when God was going to pass over with death and kill all the firstborn, it was the same thing. It was about being in the right place, at the right moment, with the correct instructions of what you had to do. In this case, it was to be in home, with the doorpost painted with the blood of a sacrificed lamb. So it's always about this. It's always about what God says, and be very focused on the instructions of God for what's going to happen. To know the place where you have to be, the moment you have to be there, and with the instructions that you have to do. And that's what the festivals of God is all about. The 7 festivals that God pronounced is to be observed every year, all years, forever. That's what it's about. They are instructions that give a place, that give a moment, and that give instructions for preparation of something that's going to happen. Christianity has taken all this and just thrown it out the window. We don't know anymore what these instructions are all about. We don't know what these rituals or ceremonies are about, what these anniversaries are for, what they mean. We don't understand these things because Christianity has declared them done away with, like they are a curse, etc. I have done a series called Operation Sabbath so that Christians can see why the law is still in effect for us and why it is so important to implement it in our lives. This with the hope that people take it very seriously and understand that this is very necessary regarding our relationship with God, regarding staying in covenant with God, and all that stuff about be just faith. All you need is faith. That's all that's required. With faith, God's going to rapture you. God's going to protect you from everything. With faith, everything is going to be safe and sound. That's not how it is. That's not how it goes, because the Bible is very clear. Faith without works is dead. The works come from what we know as the law. The law is works. The law is that counterbalance to the faith. The law and faith work together so that we can have everything, all that is needed in our physical life, so much as our spiritual life. So September 23rd is coming. What's going to happen? I don't know. But I advise you, stop putting all your focus on conspiracy theories. Don't worry so much. Don't focus so much. Don't get so distracted. Don't get so lost in all these events, cultural, political, scientific, religious events that are happening, because that really isn't going to help you. The only thing that's going to help you is your focus on God so that He reveals to you moment, place, and instructions. Enter into the scheme of God. Synchronize with His agenda. Synchronize with His calendar of events, with His time zone. Understand what's going to happen. Don't be ignorant on the spiritual things and completely informed on the secular news.